Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a review for you. So previously, I was running these ZIPP SL-70 Ergo bars. Now, they're aluminum alloy, and while they were great bars overall, I would notice that I would get kind of uncomfortable. Also, I wanted to go a bit narrower. The main thing was just like, when I was on the hoods or on the tops, and over long rides, I would just notice that like my wrists would start to get really tired. I would have to constantly have them like broken outward. But anyway, that led me on a little bit of a hunt. If you read the title, then you probably know that I went with the ENVE SES Aero bar. Now, let's go ahead and dive into why the ENVE SES Aero bar versus basically everything else that's on the market.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
First thing is first, let's talk about that sticker shock. I know you all have. So these things are extremely expensive. With the $400 price tag, you see these bars and you're like, good Lord, who would buy those? Well, the answer, I would buy these. So let's talk about why I purchased them. First thing is first, I race crits, I race road with this particular race bike. One thing I'm concerned about is crashing. Now, ENVE's policy does allow for crash replacement if you bought them brand new from ENVE. Something that I've seen already happen is my teammate Spencer crashed his wheels and ended up having to get a replacement set through them. So it's not like you're gonna get them with a quick turnaround, because the lead times right now are pretty long. But nonetheless, I have already crashed these bars. Thankfully, I didn't need to deal with that replacement or warranty claim, but I will say it was nice having the peace of mind knowing that the first weekend I went out and crashed them, if anything would have happened, it would have been taken care of by ENVE. So that's a great policy right off the bat. So I did reach out to my Instagram following when I was looking for a new set of bars, and there were a lot of cheaper alternatives that were recommended. So I looked into pretty much all of those. One that I found that was a cheaper Aero alloy alternative was actually the Prime or Prime Aero road bar. Now they're alloy and they only run you about 60 bucks. So if you're really trying to save and you don't want to spend $400 on a brand new pair of bars, then obviously $60 Prime or Prime option is out there on Amazon. Now the reason that I didn't go with those myself is actually because nothing really matches the dimensions that I was looking for except for the ENVEs. So guys, these bars have a super unique profile. Now they are technically 42 centimeter, but that really only talks about the drops. So if we talk about the different hand placements here and the different dimensions overall, we've got 42 at the drops, which I find is great for sprinting, for getting out of the saddle on climbs or whatever you might need to do. If you're cornering hard, it's a good opportunity to basically get in there, get the elbows out, assert your position and hold on tight. Now at the tops, it is a little bit more comfortable. They're all the way in at 37 on the tops, which is a huge difference between the ZIPP Ergos I was previously running. They were 44 center to center at the drops and 42 at the tops. When I looked at other bars out there, I didn't find anything that had this kind of flare, and really I wanted to maintain the width at the drops, but be really narrow up top for when I'm riding and I'm off the front or something like that in a race. Now guys, let's talk position. So obviously race and riding positions vary greatly. Having this taper is super unique with the ENVE bars because I have my hoods in at 35. So in a race, I really only have two positions. I'm gonna be either on the hoods right here, probably pinkies tucked under, with my forearms still sitting on the tops, or I'm gonna be down here in the drops, sprinting or taking corners, etc. Now, another option is being off the front, going puppy paws mode, and just chilling out like that. But all these positions that I would typically be racing are definitely not positions that I'm gonna be riding all the time. So that's why it's really nice that I'm still pretty narrow in here at 37 on the tops. Now, obviously guys, these are just handlebars, so there's not a whole lot to talk about here. I will talk about the mount. One major difference that I found in my old bars, I was able to put a K-edge side mount on here that just straps around the bar and then goes off the front, and that's technically like the Aero Wahoo mount that comes with it. If you have that side of stem Aero mount, you will have to get a new mount. I just used this K-Edge dual mount that I already had on my track bike. I was able to pull that off here and just pop it on the front of my stem, and so now that out front mount works just fine, absolutely no problems, and I can still do the Wahoo GoPro dual mount that I need. So one thing that ENVE did really well here that I want to call attention to is their internal cable routing. I don't have many cables because I do have electronic shifting, but I do have hydraulic brake cables, so it was really important that I clean up the front end of my bike. On my previous bars, the cables were just wrapped under my bar tape and then taped up that way, and you know, watts are watts. Speaking of watts, I'm not gonna get too bro sciencey on you guys, but I will say aero bars do save watts. So anything I can do for not so marginal gains, I'll take it. Now guys, are they worth 400 bucks? That's completely up to you. About all I can say is they look sick, I like the flare, and overall I love the internal cable routing. They have crash replacement, so since I am racing on these, that's super important for me because it is inevitable that I will crash just like I did the first weekend I had them. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see some race footage, check out this video right here. If you want to see some random adventures or vlogs, check out this video right here.